150 feet, sir.
Very good. Let me know 300.
Aye, aye, sir.
Well, now's the testing time for that damaged plate. We haven't been any deeper than 200 before, have we?
No, and the gear is at 500.
That means more pressure on the hull.
Don't worry, Mark. That plate will hold up, all right. By the way, where's Peter?
I don't know. Tell you the truth, I haven't seen him since breakfast. Or Janet, come to think of it.
Thought he'd be here to record this for posterity.
300 feet, sir.
Very good. Let me know at 4.
Aye, aye, sir.
Ah, good morning, Doctor.
Morning, Captain. Morning, Doctor. You haven't seen Janet or Peter anywhere, have you?
No, I haven't seen either of them.
Hello.
It's coming again!
Check ADCS.
Automatic damage control system indicates boiler escape hatch compartment flooding rapidly, sir.
Check all water tight hatches.
Aye, aye, sir.
What's happening?
All hatches secure and battened down, sir.
Hold your course for entering the area.
Aye, aye, sir.
Is that damaged plate?
Yes, the must have collapsed. The compartment's flooded.
Are we in danger?
No, Doctor. The compartment is sealed off by watertight hatches.
Oh, no one's in there.
No, it's not a sea duty station. Just an emergency escape hatch.
Chief engineer, sir.
Control, Captain speaking. What? You sure? Have you checked everyone else? I see.
Oh, someone was in there.
Yes, that was the chief engineer.
But who was it? Not Peter.
And Janet.
Oh, we gotta get them out of there. They'll drown.
Mark, there's nothing you can do.
But we've got to get them out of there.
And flood the rest of the boat, open the hatch, and you will.
We can't just surface.
It'll take too long. We're 400 feet underwater.
Well, we can't just stand here.
There's only one chance. They may have... Mark, I'm doing everything I can. I'm taking the Siona into Agiria.
But it'll be too late then.
It's already too late. Reduce angle of dive to 3 degrees.
Angle of dive to 3 degrees, sir.
Siana, this is Agiria Control. Pumping operations completed. All seawater exhausted from the pen.
Agiria control, Siana acknowledges.
Start up the emergency pumps in the forward compartment.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mark, you'd better stay here.
No, I think I'd better come with you.
All right, come along. By the time we get there, the compartment should have been pumped dry.
This is Agiria Control calling Siana. That's quite a lot of damage you've got for it. Is there much flooding?
Only one compartment. But there were 2 people trapped in there.
Open up.
They're not in here. They weren't in
Mark,
here.
look.
Has it stopped raining yet?
What on earth are you doing up there?
The one chance I was hoping for, Mark. Come on, down you come,
Janet,
Janet.
that's it. God,
You all right?
Well, yes, we only just got up there in time.
You stupid little... Well, the main thing is you're alive.
And jolly lucky you are, too.
Yes, Captain. Very lucky.
Well, come on, let's get you into Agiria.
Oh, come on, Doctor. Don't you want to see Agiria?
Huh? Oh, yes, of course.
Come in.
Excuse me, Professor Gordon, has the post been round yet?
No, not yet, Dr. Carey.
Come in, come in. I've just made a cup of tea. Would you like some?
Yes, thank you, I will.
Come on then. Sit down. Expecting a letter?
Yes, from the International Society of Biologists. I've written a paper for the annual report, and I still don't know if they've accepted it.
What you really mean is you still haven't received the money.
Perhaps this time I'll be lucky.
Yes. Yes, well, if your money is in that postbag, Doctor, you really can count yourself lucky.
Why, what happened?
Well, I've just been talking to the helmsman, and he tells me that a tug nearly rammed the Siana, and it had to crash dive to avoid a collision. Then it hit bottom and damaged some plates forward, and they collapsed as the Siana entered the Agiria.
But surely the plates had been repaired.
Temporarily. But there were 2 youngsters on board, and I suspect that they've been playing around with the repairs.
Well, if it is true, I hope something will be done about it.
No doubt it will. Oh, sorry. Sugar.
Thank you.
How's Professor Subaya? Never seem to see him these days.
He's down at the drilling centre as usual. He practically lives there now.
He's a hard worker. Do you know how far down they've drilled?
It's about a couple of miles, I think.
There should be a breakthrough before long. Then we can have a good look round. Wonder what we'll find down there.
Yes, we'd all like to know that, Professor.
You two had me scared out of my wits.
I'm sorry, Mark. Oh, we were pretty scared, too.
Look, what were you doing in that compartment anyway? You must have known it was the most dangerous part of the submarine.
Well, I got a note which I thought came from Peter. We're telling me to meet him in the compartment.
I got one signed Janet.
All right, come on, let's see them.
Well, it had a P.S. on it saying, tear up this note. Someone else must have written them. We certainly didn't. You do believe us, don't you, Mark?
Yes, of course I do. I just doubt if anybody else would, that's all.
Well, someone tried to kill us.
Oh, come off it, Peter. Who'd want to do that?
Well, maybe Dr. Durardi's been behaving pretty strangely lately.
Yes, that's true. And I did upset him during the voyage.
Why, what happened?
Well, I gave him a fright and he dropped a box of ore samples.
Oh, really, Janet? Nobody want to kill you because you did that?
But he was very angry. I only made matters worse by trying to help him with them. The moment I picked one of them up, he screamed at me.
Why, what was it?
Well, a disc of some sort.
A disc? What did it look like?
Well, it was a metal. It was about so big. It was quite light and a sort of blue-grey colour.
Mark, that sounds like the Phoenician.
Yes, it does. Well, Janet, maybe you're right. Maybe Durard did want you out of the way.
You mean it was the piece of metal which was stolen from your office?
We can get Captain Payne to arrest him.
Now, just a minute, Peter. On what charge?
Attempted murder?
But you've no proof.
Well, surely it's obvious.
That's just opinion. It's not evidence.
What about the Phoenician, then?
What about it?
Well, it was stolen and Dr. Durard has it.
But you'd have to prove that Durard knew it was stolen. No, Peter, you haven't got a case.
So he's going to get away with it, then.
Let's just say it's up to us to see that he doesn't.
This is our marine biologist, Dr. Ellen Carey. Brilliant as she is charming.
How do you do?
We have met before, Doctor.
Oh, yes, of course. At the National Institute of Oceanography in Surrey.
They'd have done better if they'd built it in Scotland.
And Professor Lewis Gordon, a man with two great loves, electronics and Scotland.
I'll thank you to put them in the right order. Scotland and electronics.
What are you working on just now, Professor?
My passage home.
I hope you'll stay with us until your spectroscopic TV camera's finished.
Spectroscopic?
Now, you can see into a solid to analyze it.
Oh, it's very interesting.
We hope to use it in the later stages of the Mohole League.
If you ever get that far, which I doubt.
Now, stop playing the doer, Scott. We'll get there.
Well, you only just managed to get that submarine of yours in here in one piece.
Still running true to form, Professor. Didn't take you long to find that out.
It's the kind of news that travels fast. What made the plate collapse? Water pressure?
Or were those youngsters tampering with it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, they were in the compartment at the time.
True, but...
No buts about it, Captain. It's a mistake having youngsters about in a place like this.
Yes, I agree.
It could have been an accident. I think we ought to give them another chance.
Well, I'll thank them to stay out of my laboratory. That camera is far too valuable.
Come in. Come along in.
But look, Janet,
What is it?
it's the ocean.
Up there?
Yes, there's 500 feet of water up there.
Gosh.
Now, let me introduce Janet Slayton, Mark Bannerman, Peter Blake.
How'd you do?
Dr. Ellen Carey and Professor Lewis Gordon.
How'd you do?
How do you do?
Professor Gordon. Wait, you're building a spectroscopic TV camera, aren't you, sir?
You've heard about it?
Why, yes, I read every single word that's been published. I think it's very exciting, sir.
Oh, then you must come along to the lab one day and see it.
Thank you very much, sir. Yes, I'd love to.
Yes, well, we'll see what can be arranged. Now, if you'll all excuse me, I'd best be getting back.
Janet, you'll be studying under Dr. Carey.
How do you do? I've looked forward to it for a long time, Doctor. Good. Well, you must get some aqua lung practice and come out on the Geo with me. That's our underwater garden.
Well, I seem to be the only one left without a job. Unless, of course, you need any assistance with your project, Dr. Durard. What in particular is it that you're working on at the moment?
Well, I'm to examine and identify minerals and metals in the Aegean region.
Wow. Between us, I'm sure we could come up with at least one that's interesting. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Well, if you'll excuse me, are you coming, Dr. Carey?
Sir, Professor Subaya would like to speak to you from the drilling center.
Very good. Put it through.
Subaya speaking. I've had to close down, sir.
You've stopped drilling? Why? What's wrong?
A drill rod sheared.
I'll be down as soon as I can. But excuse me, there's a little trouble in the drilling center.
Yes, of course.
Perhaps you'd like to come with me, Mark.
Oh, thanks. I'd love to. Where is it?
Where the old blockhouse used to be.
Oh.
We go down on the bath escape.
Yeah. Now, look. You two try to keep out of trouble while I'm away. I'll see you later.
Oh, drop us a line if you get work.
Do you mind?
Well, how do they get to the drilling center?
And the bath escape.
The what?
Bath escape. It's like a small submarine which can dive to very great depths. The one here climbs up and down a shaft between Aegeria and the drilling center.
Oh, you mean like a lift?
Well, you could call it that, but I don't think Captain Payne would like you to hear you say that his bath escape was a lift. But calling it all floors to the bottom of the sea.
Area control, this is the bath escape calling. Our depth is 3,000 feet and all systems fully operational.
Bath escape, area control. Roger. Report again at 5,000 feet, please.
Very good.
You say the drilling center's where the old blockhouse stood?
Yes, that's right. When it was destroyed by the earthquake, we were left with an ideal location of the center. So we built the structure up in Nigeria and then lowered it down into place at the foot of the trench.
Oh, it's nearly 36,000 feet down. That must have given you a few headaches.
We expected problems, so we were able to cope with them. It's this present series of mishaps that worries me.
Oh, I'd like the drilling rod sharing.
Yes, waste time, effort, and a lot of money. To tell you the truth, Mark, the cost of the Mohold dig was badly misjudged.
What do you mean it's cost more than anyone expected?
So much more that if these accidents continue, I'm going to have to stop work.
But drilling a hole beneath the Earth's crust is an important scientific project. Surely you can get more money.
I've already asked. The powers that be said no.
No.
We make do with what we've got, or we suspend operations.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous.
We've got to be realistic. Area control, this is the bath escape. Our depth is 5,000 feet.
And this varies the focal penetration.
Oh, that's so you can see more deeply into the rock or whatever the solid is.
That's right.
Oh, it's a marvelous invention, sir.
Oh,
Professor Gordon, please come to Master Control. Professor
now what
Gordon,
do they want?
please come to Master
I'll
Control.
be back in a moment, Peter.
Right.
Zubai speaking. What? Yes, I understand. Very well.
Hello, Sabaya. This is a bit worrying. Oh, by the way, Professor Vaisha Sabaya, Mr. Mark Bannerman.
Well, how do you do?
How do you do?
As you know, Mr. Bannerman's down here to do a series of articles on Nigeria.
Wow, this is certainly a fascinating place you have here, Professor.
Unfortunately, not at its best at the moment, sir.
Perhaps, first of all, you'd be kind enough to explain to Mr. Bannerman what we're doing here, will you?
Of course. This way, Mr. Bannerman.
Oh, thank you, Captain.
Now, as you may already know, the derrick is sitting on 1,000 feet of sediment, through which we have sunk this shaft to reach the rock bed. Now, the shaft has been sealed at either end and pumped dry.
Now, wait a minute. Let me just get this straight. You mean this is a 1,000 feet of dry shaft?
That is correct, Mr. Bannerman. Now, our drilling operation is similar to the one used in oil fields. The bit or drill is attached to a series of rods, which is lowered down the shaft to reach the bed. Then the drill is rotated and eats its way into the rock.
Rather like an ordinary brace and bit, in fact.
Yeah.
Now, as the drill cuts more deeply into the Earth's crust, more rods are added to the series. All of that, by the way, is done quite automatically.
I see. And it's one of these rods that is broken.
Unfortunately.
How far down?
We've brought up, disconnected, and housed 2 miles of rod, and we haven't found the break yet.
You see what I meant, Park, when I said it was an expensive project?
Yes, I do indeed. How long are these rods?
Each one is 100 feet.
Well, they must be immensely strong.
Oh, they are. But one was not strong enough.
I suppose when you've found the brake wheel, you'll have to use the grab to bring up the other rods in the drill.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's going to be a bit difficult, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is, Mr. Bannerman.
You know, this might be a very good opportunity to try out Professor Gordon's camera.
Oh. Oh, I hope you don't mind, sir. I was just going to take a photograph of your camera.
No, I don't mind.
You wouldn't stand beside it, would you, sir?
What, me in it?
Inventor with invention. Good human interest stuff, sir.
Oh. Yes, well, if it comes out, I'll send a copy to the Society of Communications Engineers, who just sent me this letter asking me what I'm doing with myself. Oh, that's not the Society's only interest in me. They also want my annual subscription. There's no escaping that kind of letter, not even under 500 feet of water.
Right now. Steady, sir. Smile. Hold it. Oh, just one more, please. Good. Well, that was the last shot, too. Well, if you excuse me, sir, I'll go down to the photographic department and ask them to develop the film for me.
Yes, out you go. Oh, I saw Janet just now. She was looking for him.
Professor Gordon, please come to Master Control. Urgent. Professor Gordon.
Of course, the job would be easier if we could see what we were doing.
Captain Payne. Professor Gordon is here to speak to you, sir.
Ah, thank you. Hello, Professor.
You want me, Captain?
Yes, look, there's a broken rod in the drilling shaft just over 2 miles down. We've got to use the grab to bring it up.
And you're wondering if the TV camera could help?
Well, if we could see what we're doing, it'd make the job a lot easier.
Well, you send up the bathyscaphe then, and I'll have it ready by the time it's here. And I'll come on down with it.
Thank you, Professor.
Hello, Janet. What are you doing?
I'm checking tomorrow's supply of full tanks for working outside.
Have you been out on the Geo yet?
Well, no.
Boy, that's something to look forward to. You know, when you go out through this hatch and that light goes on, you're in a different world altogether.
I can hardly wait. Where's Mark back from the centre yet?
No, he isn't. He's still down there. Professor Gordon went down with his TV camera, too. You know, whatever the trouble is, it must be quite serious.
Oh, I hope not. Well, Peter, I've been thinking. And I'm sure it was the finissime I saw that day in Dr. Gerard's cabin.
So am I, but there's nothing much we can do about it at the moment. If we challenge him and it wasn't there, well, we'd really be in the soup.
Well, couldn't we sneak in and look? Oh, just to make sure.
What, now?
Well, if he's not there.
No. No, it's too risky. Anyway, I know Mark wouldn't approve. Well, don't worry. Mark will find a way to trap him.
This camera has to be lowered down the shaft and then aimed down the drilling to locate the broken rod.
What about light?
We use infrared rays for spectroscopic work.
And at that range, it'll still work.
That's an extreme limit, but yes, it will.
Well, let's get it into position then, sir.
That's what I'll switch on first. What in the name? It's ruined. It's completely wrecked.
What went wrong?
What? The terminal box has been reversed. No wonder it blew up.
That's a costly mistake, Professor.
Mistake, my foot. I'd never do a stupid thing like that.
Well, obviously, someone did.
Yes, I know who it was. It was the boy. It must have been the boy.
Peter?
Well, he's the only one other than myself has touched it. It was working fine this morning, and then I left him alone with it for a while. That's when he must have done it.
Now, just a minute. Peter would never do a thing like that deliberately.
I'm not saying it was deliberate, but he must have been playing around with it. I should have paid more heed to my own advice. I always said that the boy shouldn't be in a area.
Well, nothing will be resolved down here. We'd better go and talk to him. In the meantime, Savai, you'll have to manage as best you can without the camera.
Yes, sir.
didn't touch it, sir. I just looked at it. That's all I know. Honestly, I swear I didn't touch it, sir.
That terminal box couldn't have reversed itself.
I know that, but I didn't touch it.
Well, Mark?
I know, Peter. I know, and he's telling the truth.
I'm sorry, Mark. Very sorry. I want to believe Peter as well. But I've got to judge the facts as I see them. A very valuable piece of equipment is in ruins. Peter was left alone with that equipment, and the next time it's operated, it explodes because the terminal box has been reversed. As the professor said, the box couldn't have reversed itself. And I can't help thinking back to the incident in the Siana. Again, Peter was alone in the compartment with Janet. Now, I know that that plate was properly shot up, and yet it collapsed.
But all this is purely circumstantial. No one saw Peter do any of these things.
Well, I'm satisfied that he did it, Mr. Bannerman. And I insist that those youngsters leave Igiria.
I think you can trust me to do what is best, Professor. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Mark alone.
Very well. But remember, either they go or I do.
Well, Peter, what happened?
Well, you and I are going to be kicked out of Igeria.
That's not fair. You didn't do it.
Well, try convincing them, and it's so obvious who did, isn't it? Gerard.
I'll never prove it.
Well, you sound like Mark. If only we had that Venetian.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Peter. This afternoon you said it'd be too risky.
Well, that was this afternoon.
Mark wouldn't approve. You said that, too.
The situation is desperate now.
All right, when?
At 2 o'clock. Everyone should be asleep by then.
Well, where should we meet?
In the corridor outside Dr. Gerard's lab. Tonight. Janet!
Oh, you gave me a fright.
Sorry. Are you ready?
Yes.
Right, let's get going.
Not here.
It's definitely not here.
Where else could it?